Hey, what's up? This is ChoseN, and this video is going to be a few quick highlights from the most recent Saffron Man podcast that I was on. It's just a once a week thing that Saffron does to bring some creators together and hang out and chat once a week. And this was my second time going on his podcast, so I thought it would be fun to upload a few quick clips of it here on my channel, and then hopefully you'll go to his channel and check out the whole thing, because he does upload the whole thing for like the 2 or 3 hours so that you can see it in its entirety. But this is his channel, and I will link to it down below. He's a really good guy, does a lot of fun stuff in the community, currently working on an awards ceremony that he's hosting with Hell Hades. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how that turns out. So if you haven't checked out Saffron yet, definitely go throw him a sub and check out his channel, and then hopefully you'll enjoy this quick little highlight from the start of the podcast today, and then check out the whole thing when he uploads it on his channel. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right, well, let's get going then, guys, and then Manable can jump on in whenever he can. And yeah, any kind of thoughts or opinions on any of the topics, just feel free to shoot. We're going to start with the origin story of Ash, and then get into the main topics, which is mainly going to be about Doom Tower and the fusion. I've got a few other things I want to talk about as well. But yeah, we're just going to kind of catch up, keep it festive. It is Christmas pretty much already, not even 2 weeks. So yeah, let's have some fun with it today. And welcome to Shadow Legends Assemble, episode 35. Your only place to have a stacked cast of deep topics each and every week, talking Raid Shadow Legends. Thanks for everyone for being here. An amazing cast again this week. Let's jump right on into it. Deadwood, thanks for being here, man. Really cool time. The man with 1,000 voices and 1,000 clan boss teams to his name. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, man. This is always a pleasure.
It's all good, man. It's like last time we had you on, it was like we're getting you on like 6 o'clock in the morning. It's a little bit easy for you now, but you've been like super busy, mate, and stuff going on with your website all of the time. How you been doing the last few months since we last chatted? Yeah,
we're doing great. Definitely busy. It's everything's new, so that's always been the challenge, right? I think I've been doing this for about 6 months, so it still feels very fresh even despite that. So every day there's a new thing going on. Like, I'm partner on Twitch now, which I wasn't before. I'm trying to put out videos a little bit more frequently, which I wasn't before, and we're still working on version 2 of the calculator, which I'm actually very hopeful. I'm very hopeful to get it out before Christmas. So I'm really excited for that. That's going to be a kind of a game changer for the clan boss scene for a lot of people. So I'm pretty happy about things, and just trying to continue to work and advance stuff and make the tools a little better for the community.
Well, it's nice, man. We'll keep on keeping on. I can't wait to see what you do next. So thanks for being here today, man. And ChoseN, thanks for coming back again. It's great to see you, buddy. You've done some awesome stuff on your videos, your thumbnails, and having like people on your videos of late. Thanks for being on, man. How you been?
Hey, same old, doing good. Yeah, thanks for having me. The second time. Excited to be here, and I like the new time format. Let's make this a more regular thing.
I can try to be more USA friendly in the future for sure. But yeah, thanks for being here. I mean, what time is it for you two at the moment?
It's 12:15 p.m., so it's just after noon. So for these guys are kind of on both sides of me. So for Deadwood, it's probably like 10:15 a.m., and then for Ash, it's probably like 1:15.
Oh, mate, awesome! I'm glad it's not like 6 o'clock in the morning for everyone. So thanks for jumping on in. And yeah, Ash, first time ever on the podcast, mate. How are you? Thanks for being with us today.
Dude, it's my pleasure. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
I've
listened or watched all the rest of them, so it's good to make my debut, man.
Well, that's really cool. Thanks for saying that. That's great, man. So, Ash, before we kind of get into the topics today, man, I'd love to hear about how you kind of started off, maybe before Raid, in YouTube or Twitch in general, and obviously things went rather well for you with Clash, and just jump on into your Raid story then, really. So how did things kind of start out with you?
Start with the boring stuff. I like your style, Saffron.
Yeah,
I like your style, man. Yeah, so I started, I had like a lot of people who start with content, I had a career, and I kind of had my life somewhat figured out, I thought at least. But then in 2014, I started a YouTube channel covering Clash of Clans. And, I'm one of those people who I think, like everybody on the call here, that I think it's a similar theme around content creators, that we're grinders. It's people think it's easy to just start and make content and just all of a sudden it's your career, but it takes a long time. and a lot of hard work for not a ton of return for a long time, right? So that's what I did for about a year and a half, just getting, whatever, a few hundred views or 1,000 views per video. And then, slowly but steadily, I started to, have more SEO value, and I started to improve. And next thing you know, the channel kind of took off, in Clash of Clans. And then a couple years later, in 2016, they released Clash Royale. I covered that for a few years, and then inevitably, just to kind of fast forward through a lot of stuff, I traveled the world. I went full time, and it really changed my life in a lot of ways. But then I started advertising Raid Shadow Legends like everybody else in the world, and I was just like, okay, they're gonna pay me some money to talk about Raid Shadow Legends. I'll read this script just like everybody else,
Yep.
And I probably did that for a few months on my main channel, and then eventually they came to me, and actually one of the co-founder of the company where I spend most of my time right now, actually just casually one day, he's like, dude, I'm like absolutely addicted to Raid Shadow Legends. And I was like, what? This is 2 years ago. I'm like, you're addicted to that? And he's like, it's actually really good. He's like, you should really play it. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try, because he's not the type to get hooked onto games,
Yeah.
So I started playing, and sure enough, I really enjoyed it too. And then coincidentally, Plarium was like, okay, we'll pay you to make a 5-part series on your YouTube channel. This is 2 years ago. Yeah. And for me, I hate putting out content when I don't know the game at all, when I'm super, super new. And that was the case. So I'm like, I'll do it if I can interview somebody from, one of your existing content creators. And they loved the idea. And I ended up getting hooked up with ChoseN. And he came on my channel, again, going on a year and a half, 2 years ago. And we did it. We did, I think, like 3 or 4 or 5 videos, I forgot, together. And next thing you know, I was just like, I'm going to start a second channel. And then here I am now. I really, really love the game. And I actually play it more than, Clash Royale or any other game that I cover.
I think that Raid kind of took over our lives as well. Like, I mean, it starts off as just a little something. We don't know much about it. And all of a sudden, boom, you're playing it literally more than anything else. And it just takes over. So what is it about Raid that does that? I mean, we all had that experience of starting out, oh, it's pretty good. But what kind of turned us to like, okay, I'm going to do this for a living, like for Rage,
Well, I mean, it's a number of different reasons. The game itself is for the same reasons that everybody plays it, right? It's like you love to hate it at times, but at the same time, it does a really good job touching all those kind of dopamine triggers. When you upgrade a champion, you make slow but sure progress. And people who like grindy type of games with strategic elements, they naturally, I think, gravitate towards Raid Shadow Legends, because it's a solid game. It's done, for a champion collector game. This is the best that I personally seen it done, and I just like the diversity and and now, especially with Doom Tower and stuff, which I know we're going to talk about, I just love everything it has to offer, and I love the community obviously surrounding it. That was like the first thing that stuck out at me, is just wow. I've never seen such a cohesive group of content creators and just community members, even content creators aside. And I've been doing this for 7 years now. And it's really unique and cool.
I completely agree. So yeah, good stuff on that, man. Let's get into your origin story within Raid itself then. So when you first picked it up and you started testing it out, we got a pick of 4 champions. Who did you pick? Did you do any research beforehand, or did you just go full blown and just pick one of the characters and go from there?
Bruh, I had ChoseN, man. He told me everything. I didn't make a ton of like super noob mistakes in the beginning, because ChoseN really held my hand, and so I picked Kale, and I think that Plarium has never given me anything other than the same thing that every content creator gets, except for the very first time when I did the dedicated video on my main channel. Right. I think they thought I would not actually be addicted in playing the game and covering it on a daily basis on a second channel. So they gave me like 5 sacred shards for a shard opening video with ChoseN. And that actually, I got really lucky there. ChoseN, do you remember who I pulled by any chance?
Your shard opening the first like shard opening video we did?
Yeah.
You pulled Skull Crusher and Biggin were like the highlights.
You're damn right I did. Yeah, so that was it, man. So I didn't really have trouble in the beginning as much as a normal player would because I had Biggin and Skull Crusher and Kale and whoever else, you know?
Mate, that is a hell of a trio to be working with from the beginning.
Yeah, not bad, right?
And I actually used that clip. I actually used a clip of Ash in one of my videos where I was talking about like beginner mistakes. I used a clip of Ash because Ash had in one of the so Ash did that video where he pulled Skull Crusher and Biggin, and I was like, dude, that's so epic. And then like a week later, Ash is like, dude, I'm not feeling it with Skull Crusher. I think he's trash. I think you're wrong.
Yeah, dude. You know what it is? Is at the beginning, I was thinking back because, you know, I knew you were going to ask that question because you gave us kind of an outline. And I was thinking back, and it's just like, dude, you know, I pulled Biggin in Skull Crusher, and, you know, you have no clue. You have no clue. You don't even know what their abilities do. Like, you read it, but it doesn't make any sense to you in the beginning of the game, you know? And I just remember like DMing like ChoseN and being like, dude, so you're sure Biggin's good, right? Because I don't know, you know, like you just have no clue, you know. And it was good stuff, good stuff.
And how long did it take you to get your first Lego to that Biggin? Was it what, a few days, weeks, months?
After Biggin?
Oh well, before. What? How long did it take you to get Biggin?
Well, the first time I played, really.
Wow, that is just insane.
Yeah, he did like a big. One of the collab videos, we did like a big summoning session, and then I was there to kind of walk him through like if it was a good pull or a bad pull.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like this is before I knew I was going to cover the game on a daily basis. I was like brand new, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not comfortable I'm comfortable doing like a 90-second ad read on a game that I've never played, but I'm not, and just reading a script essentially, but I'm not comfortable doing a 10, 15, 20-minute video on a game I've never played. So, and I'm certainly not going to BS it and be like, oh guys, look at this. So, you know, like it's kind of lame. At least I think so. I don't think that's interesting content. So that's how I got ChoseN. That's how I got hooked up with ChoseN on my main channel. And then, you know, I was just like, can you give me, I remember I asked ChoseN, I'm like, dude, should I ask Plarium for shards, you think? You think they'll give them to me? And he's like, there probably won't, but you can ask. Yeah. And I asked, and they were like, yeah, we'll do this one time. You know, I don't know if it was, I don't know. The video's still there, but it was like
you should
5 stickers.
You should tell him about the silver.
What do you mean?
Do you remember the silver? Something? You don't remember?
I forgot. No, what did I do?
Well, I was like, make sure and ask them for some silver so you can at least like get started and like pull the shards and stuff, because you won't even be able to pull the shards if you don't have any silver. And Plarium was like, yeah, no worries, we got you. Like we'll give you some silver. And Ash comes to me the next day and he's like, okay, so is this good? They gave me 50,000 silver. I'm like, what? They gave you 50,000? I'm like, that's like enough for one shard. And we just started laughing.
Dude,
I was like, I guess you're just gonna have to buy some silver, dude.
Yeah, it was good though. It was really, and then from there, I basically I got hooked and I started a YouTube channel. And I think the only issue with starting a YouTube channel in a game that you just started playing is that I look back, and I'm sure everybody on this call is somewhat similar to one degree or another. I look back at the first content that I made on this game, and it is rough, you know? I thought about deleting a bunch of videos. I deleted a few, but it sucks because you just look back, and you know how it is. Like, everybody on this call, you learn new stuff still every single day.
All right, that's going to do it for, I just want to show you a few quick clips from the podcast so you can get a general sense of the vibe going on, and then hopefully go check out the whole thing over on Saffron Man's channel. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.